So in this video, I want to talk about the power that you have over your circumstances. Now, this can be when I thought about this video, I wanted it to be more from the inspirational standpoint, but I'm going to add in also some occult teachings that I just want to throw in there for you that have helped me out in my life in dealing with tough circumstances and tough situations. One of the prevalent ones, and this is really where I came up with the idea, was about my work environment. When I came into my work, to my job that I have right now, and I'm about to leave it too, I came in and it was a place that was full of a lot of people complaining all the time. My teammates were constantly talking shit. There were people that would talk shit about a few other people that they didn't like, coworkers, etc. So, it wasn't the best place to be in. And I told myself, I was like, I will not succumb to this negativity. I will not feed into it, and I will not involve myself in that. And so I made that my primary goal. And after some things happened, some shifts happened, a lot of people left, and so there was a void that needed to be filled. And so I naturally filled it. I naturally started talking more, just being myself more. And I told myself then that I will raise the frequency of this place. And I made that my primary goal. And so regardless of what was happening, I made sure to always be positive, always instill a mindset of growth, of authenticity, and of service, period. And that allowed me to, as the new people came in, they saw my vibe, they read my vibe. So they basically learned from me. And so I passed on those values to them. And as the new people came in, it was a whole new set of people. And now these people weren't as unhappy as the previous people that left. And this really, I got to the conclusion, which was, you have so much power over your circumstance, and you have to be able to stay very firm in your understanding of who you are and what you really want. If you do not understand the power that you have over your circumstance, then you will naturally be led to chaos. And this comes from a concept that I was reading from my esoteric training. But there's positive and there's negative approaches to life. The positive understands his power that comes from his thought and perception, and the power that he has over his circumstance. And then the negative approach is basically looking at something and then just accepting it as it is. So not adding anything of yourself, any influence, any creative influence. And that is basically equivalent to being negative. It's very similar, because when you look at your circumstance and all you see is your circumstance, then you will only replicate your circumstance. So there will be no raising of a frequency. There will be no progression. There will only be decay, because when the same things happen over and over, life is constantly changing and life is constantly in flux. So if a person is negative, for example, my coworkers, I would see that there'd be people that would just talk shit about guests all the time, or they'll just always be negative. And those people naturally left the environment because they didn't like where they were at. And so life kind of forced them out of that environment. And then there could be people that just show up and do the same thing over and over. And that eventually leads to decay, because there's no connection. There's no sense of control. And so that leads, what does that do to a person's psyche? Internal locus of control is super essential to a person's well-being. The ability to feel like you're in control of what's going on, like you have the power to do something about your circumstance. Like all of that is very essential to our level of stress and well-being. So the moment that you just let things be as they are and you don't bring in your own desires to the environment, that's the moment that things start to decay. So it's either positive or it's negative. And those who do not contribute to the environment will stay there. And so what I say is, often we are faced with many struggles, many circumstances in this world. Our perception is constantly being challenged by our current circumstances. And so you must know with a very clearly what it is that you want to bring forth into this world. And you have to understand that that must be your primary motive for the things that you do. And what the circumstance is should only be secondary or lower on the rung of importance. Because at the end of the day, what exists right now is the result of what exists of your thought process of the past. It comes as the result of the past. So if you want to succeed in this world, and if you want to bring forth a new one, the thing isn't about focusing on the current one and replaying that in your head. The goal is to envision a new one and focus on that, and make sure that you can gather all the resources around you in the present moment to be able to infuse the moment with the future. And when you infuse it, you're basically planting the seed that will allow for it to grow. So it is very difficult, and I understand, because it's very easy to be swept by the emotions of others and the thoughts of others, and I myself have caught myself doing that too. But it's important to always recognize your thought process. It's important to always be very conscious of the way that you're perceiving things, the motives through which you're acting from, the feelings through which you're acting from, and making sure that you make that your primary motive, and moving from that place that you understand your power. That has to be primary. And so you have the power to change your circumstances, but you won't do it by looking at your circumstances and replaying them in your head. You do it by envisioning a future and making that your priority. Before anything, you are constantly thinking, does this satisfy my needs or not? And if it doesn't, then you don't talk or think about it. You let it go. That's it. So hopefully this video helps you. Hopefully this video helps you step into your power as a creator. And if you think I can help you, make sure to check out my links below. You can connect, you can book a call with me on my website, or you can join my community, which is free right now. So check it out. I'll see you around, all right? Peace out. Stay lucid.